What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? You are on the sidelines with the sideline guys. And today, it's the OG duo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined by
Sir.
my co host, the reason why we're all here today, the pod father in the flesh, my guy, Derrick Myers. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, bro. Good. 3 weeks in a row, right?
Who would have thought? Who
Hey
would have thought?
man, we get back to our old groove, man.
Dude, at this point, I feel like I'm locked in for life. Like,
Oh, most definitely.
give me every
Most definitely.
week, multiple
Yeah.
times a week. I don't even
Yes,
know
sir.
anything else, bro. We're
Yes,
locked
sir.
in, ladies and gentlemen.
Locked in.
Um, no reason to expect anything else. But while we speak on where you guys need to be locked in, why don't you check out all of the social media platforms where we are giving you guys all this awesome content at OTS Media Co. on all those things, YouTube, Twitter, on any of the podcast platforms, all that good stuff. Make sure you're following the brand. And of course, you could catch me on Twitter as well as the TikTok machine and Negron MMA. You could also catch me on Instagram, Chris Negron underscore. Derek, where can the people find you?
Yes, sir. You can follow me at Derrick underscore OTS. That's Derrick, the black way to spell it.
You heard the man. Make sure you're locked in. So he mentioned we had our week 1 preview show, our week 2 preview show. Right now, our numbers are starting to come to bay, right? We're starting to see what our predictions are looking like. And god damn it, it's a mid-off over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro.
This is the Giants Vikings, right? Of where this is the that kind of a pick 'em
Yeah.
so far. Hey, I'm sure most people looked pretty bad in
Yes.
week 2 with all them dogs barking. So I think it's all
Yeah.
right. But right now, we're sitting at a calm. I gotta say that because I got the lead. I'm clinging on to a lead. I'm sitting at 16 and 16 while you are sitting at 14 and 18. So it's only right. We look forward to week 3 to bounce back. But before we get into the week 3 games, obviously there's been a lot of big news with a lot of different quarterbacks. So I think it's only right we talk about what's going on in the NFL. So first off, on a little bit of a lighter note, obviously still not good for his prospects, but let's talk about Bryce Young. It was just announced that for week 3, Andy Dalton will be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Just first of all, I'm gonna let you take the floor on this one. How do you feel about this decision, why it was made, and looking towards the future? I gotta ask, as we look at all these quarterbacks we're gonna talk about today, how many years do you see of Bryce Young as a starter in our future? I'm putting the line at 1.5, so you got to go over under for me.
Man, I think he'll be fine. I think I'll go a little over a year. Let me just go ahead and just do the prices right. I'll say two. But I think he's got a pretty good career ahead of him. My issue with the situation is that we're at a day and age where there's no such thing as development for athletes anymore, right? There's no development in college. So then by the time they get to the pros, fans and organizations are expecting, you know, day one production for the most part, especially if you're in the first round with your draft. Like from certain players, I get it, but most I like when you have someone that still has a lot to learn. That's not he's not on like that level where he needs to be to take over and be the guy from day one. Why not allow them to develop? Why is there's why is there an issue with development in college, but then also in the pros? Because you see how everything happened. Oh my, why do I do this every time?
For Jordan Love, yes,
Um,
Jordan Love.
no, not even Jordan Love. Jordan Love is actually one that was able to develop. Um, your guy, Tampa Bay. Um,
Tampa Bay quarterback.
right now, current quarterback for Tampa
Oh,
Bay,
Baker Mayfield, baby. Woo.
Baker Mayfield. Thank you. He was in Carolina. if I'm not mistaken, they had him lining up as a linebacker in training camp. Like, I don't know what Carolina is doing. Like, this is not like something that makes sense because if you wanted to develop Bryce, you should have had Andy Dalton start. I don't think he was on the roster last year, but you should have had a veteran start last year. Allow Bryce to develop over a year or two and get into the system and learn it, and then become the starter, then become the guy. There's this whole notion of day one production from the jump is ridiculous. You see what happens was happening with Caleb Williams, right? Like it's guys have to have a learning curve when they're playing, and we're talking about the most important position on a football field. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I think Bryce will be fine. I can't see him staying in Carolina though.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough thing to figure out. I don't get the move at all because it is just obviously it's very embarrassing, right? We could say that
Yes.
outright, but also it
Yes.
just lacks such forethought, right? Like you said, if you wanted him to develop and you were seeing signs of this, there's no way you thought, right? Hey, I bought in. Fuck, I thought it too, but there's no way you
Yeah.
thought, right?
Yeah.
If knowing the way things went during training camp, that you were in a position to contend, right? Internally, I bit the hype, so who knows? But
Hmm.
maybe they were biting that same hype too. Internally, but then they figured out, yeah, our defense sucks because we were we were looking good against them. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like you got to put your quarterback in a good position. And I think there is a lot to learn from someone like Andy Dalton, right? Someone who can
Yes.
make those adjustments, especially at the line, to put yourself in a better position to deal with all the pressure that he's facing, right? That's another thing he doesn't
Hmm.
have to. Um, he should get some kudos for, right? The guy's getting hunted on every single play by everyone imaginable. And
Hmm.
beyond regular scheming, there are some things you can do to mitigate it, but at the same time, like you're dealing with the line you're dealing with. But
Right.
at the same time, I think Andy Dalton has showed, right, that he could run this offense. He was there the couple of games that Bryce Young was out last year. He was the one who filled
Oh,
in. So
so he
he
was there
familiar
last year.
with the whole
Okay.
system. I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. If this was going to happen, you might as well have started Andy Dalton in the first place. It isn't a bad thing. In my opinion, y'all should have known that y'all were going to suck because you already gave up your
Everything.
picks the year before. So this was your first rebuild year, right?
Right. Right.
You
Right.
should have
Right.
been content with that from the beginning. So it's just a weird move, confidence wise, right? You can't imagine that he could be in a position to win the room back because
Yeah.
even if were people behind him before this, now it's kind of like, damn, well, you got benched for a veteran that was supposed to be a second string QB, like that. Let's just call it what it is.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
um, yeah, obviously it's a tough position to bounce back from. That's why I thought that line was interesting, right? Because you
Hmm.
think, and the key there was as a starter, right? Because you think
Yeah.
you'll be able to land on your feet as a former first overall pick.
Hmm.
But man, everything is so churn and burn nowadays, right? Not just
It
in
is.
sports, but in life. And
Yeah.
I could definitely see him getting an opportunity. But like you said, maybe elsewhere. At this point, I want to see him, right? I want to see the redemption story. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's looking rough for Carolina for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going under. I think under 1.5 years as a starter for Bryce Young. It sucks to say. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
overreacting, but that's what the gut says.
I mean, look what Atlanta did with drafting Michael Penix Jr., right? They knew Kirk Cousins was going to be their starter. They knew Penix was a guy that they wanted for the future, but they're allowing him to develop in the system, learn from a veteran QB who has a great football mind. Like that's how you do it. Like that's how you do it. Even though we criticize them for the move, but it's a good move.
Mm.
So yeah, I need Carolina to get it together.
Yeah. On opposite sides of the over under, you love to see it.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night feels like an eternity ago, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of the talk we got to miss out on. Unfortunately, it's only right that we touch on the sadder story of the week with Tua Tagovailoa going down for what
Mhm.
would be a third time, if I'm not mistaken, on in contact in game injuries. Look very similar to the last one in particular. And first of all, obviously, I want to talk to you about the play itself, right? Let's talk a little
Yes.
bit about the play itself. And
Yes.
obviously, the history needs to be considered when talking about this whole situation. But how did you feel about the actual hit that DeMar Hamlin delivered on Tua and the fallout, obviously, with everything that happened afterwards?
I don't so I might need to go back and watch it again, but I don't think Hamlin was in the wrong with what he did. I think Tua needs to learn to actually protect himself. Like he went charging headfirst into Hamlin. That's what I saw. you know, I don't even think he necessarily needed to do what he was doing.
Already passed the first down marker. Yeah.
I like what are we talking about here? What are you doing that for?
Hmm.
I I think Tua. I'm of the mindset that he needs to retire. I said it as soon as I saw him. Like when you started seeing his hand come up and his fingers do all that stuff. I like it was at that moment he needs to retire. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. He needs to retire because you can't keep getting these concussions and looking that bad. Like that looks bad. That looked bad. And the fact that it's happened again, um, he's already said he's not retiring, right? But let's look at it from the with the big picture in mind, right? From the perspective of Miami, are you looking at Tua? You already gave him the extension, right? So there's obviously you're committed to him. But when I need you to answer this question for me. When you look at Tua from the perspective of the organization, do you see the long term there?
Dude, I think it's such a weird situation.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna wish for the best, right? They're gonna wish for him to come back the same way he did, right? Previously, we didn't have this issue last season, and I think the
right.
length between these things, in some ways, is a gift and a curse, in my opinion. I think the fact that, like you said, we've been down this road before, and this was, I agree with you 100%. This was a routine play, right? This was a play that honestly, it was kind of like DeMar Hamlin was in a position where I have to make this tackle,
He
right?
had
I'm
no
not.
choice. Like,
You're gonna run right at me, right? You're not
yeah,
gonna slide. I have to tackle you. I'm not gonna let you keep going. So,
yeah,
um, it wasn't an egregious hit at all. Obviously, the placement was admittedly bad, right? That's nobody's
hmm,
fault at that point, especially when, like you said, as the quarterback, you're diving in head first, like Josh Allen does.
yes,
It's tough
yes,
to we say this not to, right, make fun of Tua, right, or put him in a bad
right,
light. It's just the reality of the play, and I think what's scary about it, and why I agree with you, I kind of do lean towards in my gut that he should not play football anymore, is just because this is a game where you are forced to take hits. Like no matter
yeah,
what, you
yeah,
are going to end up in a position where you have to take a hit,
hmm,
and when theoretically the best position you can be in, right, is when you see a hit coming. You
hmm,
know what you're dealing with in that scenario, right? This isn't
hmm,
someone catching your blind side and absolutely cracking you, right, from the
right,
quarterback
right,
position. This is a
right,
play where you're head on. So
right,
if you're having issues with plays like this, it's a gamble that you should not be willing to risk, right? Not only
right,
as a player, but as an organization. I think,
yes,
man, this is tough. I think ultimately, though, if he can prove, right, that whatever testing that he can endure, right, to
hmm,
say that he is now okay to compete again and he is a willing participant and the organization is willing to allow this to work, Who
Mhm.
am I to say otherwise? Especially as the resident combat sports guy here, right? There's a lot of
Yes, yes, yes.
shady shit that are of similar vein that goes on in that world, much more so, I would say. Um,
Right.
but I definitely would lean towards, especially if you're someone that cares about Tua and his long term health. Um,
Mhm.
this is something that isn't going to go right away, right? With
Right.
other quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson that dealt with concussion issues, multiple concussions over the same like type of season, um,
Mhm.
there was never a moment where we saw that visceral sort of bodily reaction, and it's known as the fencing response. I think this is well
Yes,
spoken about a
yes.
lot, especially in combat sports. But I feel like for this play specifically, like the fact that we've been here multiple times at this point, I don't know how you could feel confident as an organization. I think that we're going to see them take a quarterback early or put themselves in a position where they have someone else. Um,
Mhm.
because it sucks that we have to talk about this, right? As a ultimately, like, oh, you still have to figure out how to contend. Ultimately,
Yeah,
it should be
yeah.
about the health of the player, and we can't stop the season for Tua. Like that's just the
Right,
reality of it,
right.
and the nature of the beast. But man, if ever there was a time where you would say, I don't think this person should be doing this, this is it, definitely.
Yeah,
Morally, right?
yeah.
I can't say I would turn off the game if he's playing again. Um,
Mhm.
but in the same vein, it's like ultimately all these guys understand what they're signing up for, and all of them can be put in a position where um, they could have their worst case scenario, right, and end up severely damaged from this
Mhm.
sport. That's a risk that you take on an everyday basis. But when you have this sort of history at this point, like someone has to intervene. I don't know who that someone is,
Mhm.
but I think ultimately you could find a doctor to flash the light a couple times and say, "Hey, you're good to go, twin." But
Yeah, yeah.
there's no real way to know what's going on with you, especially later on in life with these kind of injuries.
Mhm.
So you gotta side on the air of caution, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if he were Spotrac actually tweeted this out, I think last Friday. But if he were to retire, um, barring any settlement or anything like that, he gets 124 million guaranteed. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like this is a money play for him because of the fact that it's not like he has to go out and get a like he has to go get that new contract, right? You signed your contract already. You've already got guaranteed money. So at this point, what is the reason to keep playing? Like once you get concussions, you're more susceptible to getting them.
Hmm.
You're talking about someone who's had vicious impact. Like, I know it didn't happen last year, but if he's not willing to do what it takes to protect himself, to play a little different, to be able to continue to play this game, I like from a business perspective, I don't see why you would want to have that responsibility.
Yeah.
I really don't, because from the team perspective, how do you argue, how do you make the argument that he is the guy you move forward with, that you can feel confident you can move forward with? Because like you just said, the game still goes on. This is not like we're sitting here and the season's ended because it's happened, right? It didn't end when Damar Hamlin was incident took place.
Yep.
So I can't see how this is a move that you would be comfortable with making. I just something about it just doesn't feel right to me. And to be completely honest, if they support him with this uh comeback, like you have to look at Miami as well, being culpable with this. You have to. This isn't something that you can play around with, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to protect athletes from themselves sometimes. So Yeah, I'd like to see him retire and just move on and even stay in football, but do something else. Whether that's coaching or what a development or whatever. Just do something else in football. Just live life, bro.
And
Like
I don't. It's the saddest reality. I agree with you. I don't see that happening, and I
I
think
don't
the
either.
reality of it
Yeah.
is most likely, and I understand it, right? I get it fully. I think he is not, and most athletes are not just fulfilled with the money, right? So
Right. Right.
they want the glory. They want to be the ones to lead their franchises to championships, right? Like it's about a lot more than
Yeah.
just the money, majority of the time.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I think no matter what, no matter how many SWAT teams are making their way down to 405, right? Somebody, goddamn it, has to go out there and figure this out. And I think the worst part about this is like, yeah, we have to both continue on for the sake of this conversation and decide if we're gonna go under 1.5 seasons for Tua.
hmm
I'm gonna say under, um, but I think in my heart of hearts that's over, and we're probably
Yeah.
gonna see as long as we could get someone to sign off on it, right? And everyone's
Yeah.
here. Let's
Yeah.
not be culpable because you are a willing participant, and I think
Yeah.
that's a sad part about sports that I think. Shout out to Eric McGracken, right? This is a combat sports personality, but also a lawyer in Canada, and he's someone that's
hmm
made a lot of petitions, especially for youth martial arts, to educate people on concussions and the reality of what concussions can do to you in your lifetime, so that even
hmm
at a young age, right, you have an understanding of what you're dealing with here.
hmm
Obviously, this has been heightened by tenfold in the NFL the last 5 or so years, I could say confidently.
hmm
Um, Obviously, you love to see the strides they're making with the Guardian helmets and things like that. But the sad reality of all of this is that no matter what, this is gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
some people, this is gonna be loud and in your face, and for other people, it's gonna be much more in the background, right? And maybe much more able to sort of slip through the cracks and be avoided in these situations. And I think now that we know and we're in this era, I'm so glad that it was collectively shut down, right? It wasn't a matter of,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to see how he's doing for next week, because that's how certainly it would have been in the
Yes.
past.
Yes. Yes.
So kudos to everyone involved with that mentality. And I get why everyone would be rooting and rallying around him to come back. But at the same time, yeah, it just makes us uncomfortable, brother. And I don't see that changing for me.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go under as well. But in reality, it's gonna be over.
Oof.
Like he's gonna play. He's gonna play. It's just what's gonna happen, barring something other catastrophic thing. He's gonna play.
Yeah. Moving on, we got four more of these over unders and these a little less action packed, right? So we could keep them down here. I'm excited about these. We've got one man out there in New Orleans. We thought they were showing up with a car, right? Turns out they showed up with a Lamborghini, baby. Derek Carr, the man, the myth, the legend, looking good
Yeah.
as he leads his team to being 2-0. I'm curious, there was a lot of talk coming into this season on this show, right?
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler and his inevitability in New Orleans. Obviously, great to see what they've been able to do this season so far. Um, where do you sit on Derek Carr as a starting quarterback for this over under? I'm going 1.5 as well.
Yeah. He ain't losing that job, bro. He ain't losing that job. It looks like, and it could be prisoner of the moment type thing. I feel like the Saints are a legit team this year. I feel like I feel like they're a legit team this year. I feel like Derek Carr over the past 2 weeks has looked every bit of what he looked like when they were in Oakland. I feel like this is a rejuvenation for him, some so to speak. He's not losing that job, bro. Not unless again something happens. I
Mhm.
can't see him losing that job, and honestly, he shouldn't. If you drafted Spencer Rattler, let him develop. like
Like
what
we
we just
said.
talking about.
Yep.
Just let them develop. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. Like you said earlier, look at what happened with Jordan Love.
Yep. Why not? Right? Nobody gets hurt, and we're still contending, baby. That's all that matters.
Bro, if I could get paid to sit on a bench for a couple of years and not get hit like that, yeah, why would I not want to do that?
I bet if you walk down, right? We're such bitches, right? Because I bet if you
Yeah.
walk down any of these NFL sidelines with the mic to the bench players, like, hey, how do you feel about your role as a backup? They can be like, put me the fuck in, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck all this. With a neck brace, they will be saying this as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, different kind of athletes out there.
Hey man,
But I
we
feel
didn't
you,
play
man.
football.
Hell yeah, right? Hell yeah. Shit, I
So
would have
yeah.
if I could have. There's a reason why
Yeah.
we here, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
I
But
wanted to play running back when I was in high school. I wanted to play running back, but I was homeschooled. So
mhm,
my parents wouldn't let me go to the local school and join the team. So
damn. I think that would have been great, right? We would have saw you on
yeah.
your Saquon era, right? You would have
Oh,
gotten
bro,
super thick in the lower
bro.
regions, you know?
Pause.
No
No
pause. Yeah,
Diddy.
yeah. We'll move it on. Straight like that. So wait, you're going over. Can I get a number, right? As a starting quarterback, not just for this team. Derek
Yeah,
Carr, what's the number? How many years?
3.
So you definitely went over, but you think confidently we see 3 more starting years out of Derek Carr.
I could say that. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, because again, if New Orleans decides to move on from him, and then you have a team like Carolina that's just stupid and is willing to pay, yeah, let's go
Yeah.
get let's go get him. Why not?
That's the exact number I put, so I love the
Yeah,
emphasis. That's why I had to, because I was like, "Yeah, over 3. This sounds about right
yeah,
to me." This
yeah,
next one is a name that's coming out of nowhere to a lot of people, right? But I think very relevant battle going on in New England because we got a surprise contender over
yeah,
there
yeah,
in the
yeah.
Northeast. So I'm not going Jacoby Brissett. I'm going Drake May. 1.5 years as a starter in this league. Whether or not that's happening, obviously, this is their third round overall pick from this year's draft, who has been sitting so luxuriously behind
Yeah,
Jacoby Brissett. There was some injury shakiness there, right? In game two, so we got a little nervous, right? We started warming up a little, but we're
yeah.
still, as of now, backing up the starter. So Drake May, do we feel about the Patriots quarterbacking future?
I'll give it a year. I'll give it a year. Because Jacoby Brissett isn't like I can't remember the last time. When was the last time he stayed at a place for longer than 2 years?
I don't think that happened. Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't think that's happened. So I don't. I like. I could see a year. I could see it. Let's say New England finishes around 500. I think that's a good argument for Brissett to finish the year out as a starter, and then you let May take over next year. If Brissett comes back, you let him as your backup. But yeah, give me a year.
I like it. Yeah, I think we definitely could see him go in a year. I'm so sorry. I probably laid this up wrong. So I'm gonna drop mine. I think I'm gonna have him as a 3.5 year starter in this league. I think
Okay.
we're definitely gonna see him stay long enough. I think what makes me confident in that is just the pure arm strength that he showed in college, as well as being a part of a system based organization like the Patriots. So I think the situation's good. He's going to put himself in a good position to be a starter. We saw how that worked out for Mac Jones, though, right? So
That's.
only
I
time
mean.
will tell. But I actually definitely am a little higher on Drake May as a prospect than he was at Mac Jones coming out of college. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.5 years as a starter. But I agree with you though. Your point was 100% right. I think I could
Yeah.
definitely see him starting within a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, we also don't know how Mayo is. Whether you know after his first year as a head coach, is he going to want to switch to May or keep Brissett? I think it would depend on the record.
Mhm. So I love these last two because obviously it's hot take central, but
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
do we think that the quarterback for the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, is going to be a starter in this league for over or under 1.5 years, Derek?
Over,
Over.
over. Yeah, I think they just have to build the team out. You know, like develop the quarterback.
Mhm.
Give the guy time to develop. He's gonna have mistakes. He's gonna have things he works through. You saw it with Lamar. I saw it with Jalen. You know, even Patrick Mahomes developed, right? Like he
Mhm.
sat. Did he sit behind Alex Smith?
Yep. It wasn't for the entire
Like,
season, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Give these guys the time to develop, man. Like this, just wait, just wait.
Mhm. Let him cook. Let him cook, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. I think he's been looking good. I also am a little concerned just by how much he is willing to uh make those plays, right? As a football player. As a
Hmm.
football fan, you love to see that, but obviously from the
Yeah, yeah,
quarterback position, it's a little different, right? So
yeah,
yeah, between him and Josh Allen, I can only imagine the fan base just collectively at 1,000 watching these games. Like, please, 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 not today.
yeah,
Because yeah, it gets crazy. But I'm gonna
yeah.
go for my total number. I'm gonna go 5.5 years, right? I think I'm confident in saying he will be a starter for the next 5.5, which is crazy to think about when we got a couple with much lower numbers earlier on. But next up, we got
Hmm.
the hottest topic, the number one overall pick in this year's draft. We've got Caleb Williams, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
starting off as a starter at 1-1, coming off of a loss to the Houston Texans. The game was close, obviously because of their defense. Looked
Hmm.
improved from week one, but still showing that he's very much so growing at this position. We got more than over under 1.5 years as a starter for Caleb Williams.
I believe over. However, I don't trust Chicago. So we saw this experiment take place with Justin Fields, right? What really took place there? They didn't help him in any way, shape, or form, and just allowed him to go out and do whatever. Caleb, you can see the flashes, right? But he's definitely not playing to the level of expectation. Like I believe he told the punter, he texted punter like in the offseason, like you're not gonna be out there much. Yeah, he's been out on that field quite a
Yeah,
bit in
where
the
Cairo
last 2
Santos at
weeks.
too? We need some
Yeah.
field goals.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'm again, I'm all for development, but I don't really trust Chicago to develop him properly. So I think it really depends on what Chicago does. But I believe he will be
Hmm.
starting.
Yeah, I think he's dealing with a lot of the same issues as Bryce Young, believe it or not. I think he's dealing
Yeah.
with a lot of traffic, but also just not really picking up right on what he's looking at, which
Hmm.
is expected from a rookie. I'm gonna say over, but I just love this game because with a whole bunch of names, right?
Hmm.
The flavor of the month, right? It really changes the week to week how you feel about these people, right? And you would
Yeah.
think last week a lot of these numbers would feel a little different, right? Than the answers we would have gave for how many years we see him as starters. So fun little over under there. It's only right that we transition to breaking down these week three games.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night, we've got the Patriots, a team we just been speaking a bunch about, going on the road to face the New Jersey Jets, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday night football. I'm gonna oop this one to you, Derek, because I don't want to talk about it too much. Who you
Me
got
either.
in this divisional brawl?
I'm going New England, bro. And it's weird to say it, but I'm gonna go with New England. I can't trust the Jets. I can't trust them. There's just something about them. Like on paper, they should be up there, but I don't know. I think I like New England's team as a development team. Like you said, Brissett's got a great arm. Um, I think their defense is holding up. They're holding up a lot better than I kind of expected them to this year.
I agree.
So far, it's still a young season, but um, yeah, I like give me New England with this one.
Interesting, man. I waffled back and forth on this one. I think ultimately it's going to come down to whose run game is going to be a little more potent here, and I just tend to lean a
Mhm.
little towards the Jets. The Jets defense has been a goddamn mess, right? They're
Yeah,
begging Hassan Reddick to sign the contract, please. Um, I know we find you a lot already, but please, because yeah,
yeah,
it's looking rough out there, and you would think that would be one of their strengths.
yeah.
I'm interested in this game a lot, man. I think this is going to be a telling game, but
Hmm.
I just have to feel that ultimately the Jets find a way to win this one at home. I think if you lose this one, right, this is a big indicator, in my opinion, on where you're looking at as far as your success this season, right?
Yeah.
Divisional game against a team that's showing flashes. Like you got to come out here on fucking fire, right? You got to be in a good
Hmm.
position to show them who the fuck you are, and that's
Yeah.
what I think they're gonna do. That's why I'm picking the Jets here. I think the offense is what's going to shine, though. I think is really going to be dependent on that battle. If the Patriots defense could disguise things the way they have been and get to Aaron Rodgers a lot, this is going to be a tough game for the Jets to win. But I
Yeah.
think, especially once they start gashing things up with Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, I think
Hmm.
the Jets should be in a good position to win this one. So we're going head to head early. God damn it.
Really? Yes,
Love
sir.
it though. The over under for this one is listed at 38 and a half. Derek, I'm gonna go over, but I don't like it. Right? It makes me feel strange. I don't like it, but I'm going with the over just for some random field goals that'll get us right over, like that 37 mark. Right? Remember, that's
Yeah.
2017 right there. That's not a lot.
Yeah. I don't know, man, because like it should be that, but again, this is a Thursday night game. Like these Thursday night games, even the Monday night games are starting to feel like this a little bit too. But the Thursday night for sure is starting to feel like what should happen doesn't happen.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go under.
Ooh, I like it. I won't be mad at either side, to be honest, but let's root for points. God damn it! Next up,
Yes, sir.
we got the Giants opening up the Sunday night. I mean Sunday night, Sunday afternoon window against the Browns on the road. We could keep this one short and sweet. I thought Danny Dimes looked great compared to Week 1 last week. But
Yeah,
somehow, right, we could score 3 tutties and still find a way to catch a L out there. God damn it! Um, this is a mid off if we've ever seen one. This is the Deshaun Watson comeback game, I think. Defensively, I think
it
the
should
the
be.
Giants can't hold a candle against what the Browns can do here. So holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, this game is on you, right? If we lose this one, it's time to start thinking and looking elsewhere. But I think the Browns clear them. I'm taking the Browns.
yeah. Give me the Browns as well. Like I told you, week one, I wouldn't be surprised at conversations of Deshaun being benched.
Mhm.
I think those conversations pause this week, but I could see James taking over this year. I could see it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, like if he doesn't do what he should do against this defense, God bless him.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be all going out there eating W's. Next up,
Yeah, yeah.
the over under for this one is also listed the same as the previous 38 and a half. Derek, what you got? Over or under total points 38 and a half?
We talking about the Eagles Saints?
Oh shit, no we're not. We got Giants Browns.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, my bad, my bad.
No,
These are
you're
the
good.
next game. Um, I'll go over. I'll go over.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under. This is a mid off, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Opposite picks back to back.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I'm gonna give you this oop as well because obviously coming off of a tough Monday night game against the Eagles. I mean against the Falcons. We got the Eagles looking to bounce back on the road, if I'm not mistaken. Yep,
Yep.
in New Orleans against the new look Saints we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I just want to hear your thoughts, obviously, of what happened last week. I see you got some messages up already, and then of course how you feeling with this Week 3 matchup.
Yeah, to be honest, I think anybody that still puts that game on Jalen, you're a joke. Like honestly, if you're still blaming Hurts for losses, especially like that, you just want to hate the guy. You're not even watching the game. He had one interception, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god, this is the end of it." If I'm not mistaken, Mahomes had two last week, two or three. I didn't hear anything about that. So let's, calm down. What happened last week is the fact that it was a combination of things. Saquon dropped the ball, right? Like that's a rarity. That's not something that you expect to see or expect to happen again. Um, so that is what it is over here. Um, Darius Slay, bro. I don't know, man. I'm looking at you funny, bro. Because there's no way you should have allowed Drake London to score that touchdown. That made no sense. I mean, he wasn't even watching. He was just out there, just like, hey. He's just having fun out there, just running around, just having fun like a little kid. So he lost his coverage on that one. That was that. But then also the idea that you don't kick the field goal in the first quarter. The hell are y'all doing? Again, Sirianni is a joke. I felt like there was a difference between week one and week two from with calling. And I'm gonna tell you why. I felt like Sirianni he wasn't interfering too much with play calling of week one, and in week two, he couldn't help it. That's what it felt like because I was looking at the same team that I was looking at last year, week two.
Hmm.
That's what I saw. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about week three because I don't know who's calling the plays. And honestly, why the hell is Devin White on this roster? Why did you trade for him if you're not gonna play him? Why is Isaiah Rogers on this roster if you're not gonna play the guy when you obviously need both those guys out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, do the right thing. This is not a hard decision to make. Play the guys. Play them. Like if you're not going to do that, figure out a way to get Hassan Reddick back onto this team. Because what like what are we doing here?
Hmm.
So if they play the way they played week two, they're not winning this game. They're not winning this game. I don't have a question mark about the Saints right now. I'll put it to you like that. I don't know which team is showing up week three.
Damn. No, I need some optimism in my life here. So pick. Can I get the confirmed? What is your Week 3?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with them because they should win.
Yeah.
They should win. They should win. But this is Sirianni's last year, bro.
Damn. Confirmed.
I can't see him going past this year. I can't see
Oof.
it. I can't see it. They
Everyone
already
felt like
took
that about
away.
Dennis Allen too, right? The
I
world
know,
can change in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
bro, bro. This man went to the Super Bowl. This man
Hmm.
coached this team to the Super Bowl, and I'm still telling you this.
Yeah. And it ain't the first time you said it on this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not
No,
recency bias. Yeah, I feel you.
no. I need him gone, bro. It's
Hmm.
just I don't. I think he's lost the locker room.
Wow. And I wouldn't be surprised, right? We could read into this on a lot of different levels. I'm just gonna go quick here
Yeah.
because I don't want to make this worse, right? But I'm about to. I
Mm,
think the biggest deal here, in my opinion, is defensively getting off the field on third down. I think your team has looked great on first and second down, right? It just
yeah.
comes down
Yeah.
to completing drives and putting the offense back out there. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you. You guys should have won that game 10 times out of 10, not just because of the field goal, but just execution wise, right? Like you put
Execution.
yourself in a
Yeah.
great position to win that game. Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
Um, but what bothers me is in that matchup, right? I think ultimately, to a certain degree, we can all admit, right, as someone whose team is 0-2, sometimes you show up for the team you're playing, right? Not for the challenge of
Yeah.
winning every game. And I
Yeah.
think I think the Eagles are gonna know they got to show up big here in this game. That's what I think we need to bounce back, right? We need to see what
Yeah.
peak performance is gonna look like. And I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna pick the Saints here just because of what we've seen, right? As far as execution
Yeah.
wise, they've been able to get everybody off the field on
Yeah.
defense, and then on offense they're burning people too. So
Yeah.
shout out to that offense and the new offensive coordinator. I feel terrible because I don't got his name on the tip of my tongue. Kubiak, I believe, but
Kubiak. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Clint Kubiak, I think.
yes,
Yeah.
he's doing a goddamn great job. But
Yeah.
we've got the line for this one at 48 and a half, right? A very high
Mm-hmm.
one. Are you
Mm-hmm.
going over or under? Excuse me, 49 and a half.
49 and a half. I'm going to go over.
Over. Nice.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a shootout.
Wow. You heard that. Make sure you're starting your Falcons and Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. You're tempting me. I think I'm gonna go over too. Um, there's not a lot of games I think that are gonna put up big numbers, but I think this one is the highest line for a reason. So give me the
Yeah.
over as well. Next up, we move on to a sneaky interesting game, right? We have these every now and then. We've got
Yeah.
the Texans on the road against the Vikings, the surprise Vikings as
Oof.
well, right? We also have the storyline of the defensive pass rusher swap, right? That these guys did with Daniil Hunter and those guys. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to look forward, revenge game wise as well. Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson for president. I don't know if you ever seen that that fucking interview where this guy is just being asked a random question by, you could tell, this TikTok or whatever, and she goes, who's on the $20 bill? And he goes, Justin Jefferson. And then it just cuts to dudes being dudes, right? It just cuts to a whole highlight tape
Yeah.
of Jettas just catching TDs over your favorite CBs. You'll have
Yeah.
to see it. Um, but yeah, Justin Jefferson for president. God damn it, this guy's putting the whole team on his back and making Sam
Yeah.
Darnold look like a god out there, because you know what he's willing to do? He's willing to say, "Hey, Jetta's down there somewhere," right? The throws
Yep.
that this motherfucker has been making, these are not throws that you want your quarterback throwing, but he's
Not at
been
all.
making it work somehow. So shout out to both of them boys. But
Yeah.
I think this week is going to be a little tougher. I really have loved everything I've seen from the Texans, not only
Yes.
defensively, execution
Mm.
wise, but also on offense. Man, CJ Stroud is just something special, right? Can we talk
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
play rolling out to his right against Chicago?
Yeah.
Pressure on both sides and just throws a dot, right? Not taking
You
too much, right to the sideline, get us out of bounds and give us some new downs. God damn it. The guys are
Beautiful.
surging out there, and on top of their defense, man, this is a tough team to beat. Will I be
Yeah.
surprised though if the Vikings can pull it off? Honestly, not really. If anyone needs some love right now, it's a guy that we fuck with heavy on this show, Brian Flores, doing some really
Yeah.
fun things with that defense and really making them a big underdog story here. It's not just the offense; it's really the defense that's carrying. So this is gonna be a fun one. But give me the Texans to perform on the road. How you feeling?
Yeah, give me the Texans as well, bro. I think Jefferson just said he's playing. He got injured in the last game. Um I don't think he's going to be 100% though. So with that, I think it's going to be a long day for Sam Darnold. So give me the Texans as well.
The over under is lined at 46 and a half. What you got, Derrick?
Under.
Under. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna
Unless
go over.
CJ Stroud goes for 40 or
Hey, Sam
something.
Darnold could go for 40. Jordan Addison is back, right? If I'm not mistaken as well.
Mhm,
So got
mhm.
another weapon in the trough.
Yeah.
I'm making the case, god damn it. Next up, we've got a game that definitely wouldn't have mattered a couple weeks ago, but now it's just a one-sided ass whooping. We got the Broncos on the road going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that
Yeah.
Florida heat, ladies and gentlemen. Derek, I'll let you take the reins on what seems like at this point my favorite quarterback in the league. Who you got? The Broncos or the Bucks?
I'm going with the Bucks, bro. I'm going with the Bucks, and dare I say, if you have any player from that team in fantasy, this is going to be a treat.
Hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
I can't see the Broncos winning this. I can't see it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, this one is tough to make an exciting argument. It feels good to see Sean Payton in the mud. I will admit, It-
Yes,
but
yes.
these games have also been sneaky close, despite what I feel like is lower level quarterback play from Bo Nix. I think this defense is better than people give them credit for.
Hmm.
Tough one, but I think it's easy to pick the Bucks to go 3-0 at home,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. Something that puts a smile on my face, clearly. The over under is listed at 40 and a half. I'm gonna go with over, right? It just doesn't feel right to have two NFL offenses out there and have less than 40 and a half. I don't know. I'm going to go over,
I'm gonna go right under.
right under. Yeah. One-sided ass whoopings. It makes sense. We'll
Yeah.
see. Only time will tell. We got the Packers on the road against the Titans. This is the get back game for Malik Willis, who's starting
Yes.
at the moment still for Jordan Love, who was out with that MCL strain. Looked as good as he needed to look in week
Yeah.
two. I don't think he did too much out there. Obviously, the huge performances from the run game in that one. Um, but man, you love to see a redemption storyline. God damn it! Who do you got? The Pack on the road or the Titans at home?
I'm gonna go with the Pack on the road, bro. Um, I think when your head coach is reaming your QB out like that, I don't know. I mean, you can chalk that up to just it being it, or is there more there to the story?
Hmm.
Who knows? I'm going with the Packers though. I'm gonna go with the Packers on this one.
Yeah, shout out to my guy, the Mayo man, Will Levis, for not only having one of the most memorable fumbles week one, but said, fuck it, we running this shit back, baby, and did it again in week two. This time we didn't
Yeah.
get the moment, but yeah, it's looking tough, and the fact that you let this man go, and now he's coming to lay it on you. I love
Yeah.
this storyline, especially for Malik Willis, as someone who has been a Malik Willis backer, who drafted
Yes.
Malik Willis in his dynasty team 2 years ago, and has held on right for this very moments. About to try to finesse the guy that owns Jordan Love. To try to give him that handcuff, right? Give me something, baby. Give me something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I talk all this shit to say I think ultimately it's not going to be the quarterback that decides this game, especially if the Titans are playing the way they have been. Kind of feel bad for the Titans because I think overall they're one piece away. Honestly, like if they had, let's say, a prime, um, why am I forgetting his name? Magic.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yes, yes, thank you. I was gonna
Yeah.
say Fitz Magic, but that works as well. Just give me a
Yeah.
serviceable dude out there. We need a dude out there, and
Hmm.
we might be able to make the playoffs. But yeah, without that guy, it's gonna look tough. So I'm going with the Packers as well. The over under for this one is disgustingly low, 37 and a half. How you feel about that, Derek?
I think I might go under.
Under again, under 37 and a half.
Might go, yeah, because I think this might be one of those like defensive games.
Hmm. Damn, you got me messed up now. I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over based on just fuck it. We kicking field goals today, baby. That's
Yeah.
that's that's how I feel. Shout out to Tajay Spears. We love you, man. You gonna make it out one day. Next up,
Hey, you
we've
messing up
got
your fantasy.
yeah, real messing it. Bears at the Colts. This one is a
Oof.
very sneaky, interesting game for both of these teams looking to ascend to 2-1. Um, I'll take the reign on this one. I think everyone is panicking about Caleb Williams. He looked better in week 2, and goddamn it, this line might suck, right? So we spent a lot of money at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have got some people in the trenches. God damn it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is not only has we've seen issues with containment, but we've also seen issues in the run game. Um,
Mhm.
I don't think they're putting Swift in the best position to be
At
Swift and be shifty
all.
out there. So yeah, it's tough to watch this team on offense, man, which is funny because that's not what you expected at all. And defense, they've been really holding it together. Gave
Yeah.
the Texans a much harder time than the Colts were able to do, which is easy sort of mental math to do in this matchup. This is a tough one, dude. This is a real tough one.
Is it?
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think if anyone
Really?
has a ceiling here, right, to continue their growth, I think right now it is the Bears. I think obviously run defense is gonna be really where this game is won. Um, I just feel like this team specifically in the Colts has shown to have not only issues in the trenches, right, getting gashed up by the Packers. Shout out Josh Jacobs, but them knees ain't look like that in a while, ladies and gentlemen. Um, but to not get gashed up in the run, but also to be able to contain when you don't know who the fuck is starting out there on a daily basis. There's a new guy out there listen, they got the most roster CBs out of any team. Like we
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
who the
yeah,
fuck is
yeah.
back there. So I can't trust this team defensively. I think offensively, there's going to be great moments. I think if Anthony Richardson could get the offense looking consistent, especially on the passing side of things, I think this is a dangerous team and it'll be easy for the Colts to come away with the win. But I think this one's going to be in the trenches for sure. And I think the Bears got a little bit more to outlast and a little bit more to learn from. So give me the Bears.
I gotta go with the Colts, bro. I gotta go with the Colts. Mainly because I don't think that I don't think that the bear I mean the Colts defense is better than the Texans defense, right?
Mhm.
But look how he looked against that defense last week. I, I just
He
I'm
looked
not
better than he
like
looked against the Titans. I'm just saying.
yeah, but I mean
Still ain't throw for 200 yards. Yeah, it's like a tough. It's
nah,
tough.
nah. Give me the Colts on this one, man. I just I can't see it. I can't see it.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing I disliked was his demeanor, right? Especially
Yeah, yeah,
just looking fucking annoyed out there. And hey, I feel you,
yeah.
right? Sometimes you talk all that shit and then you're not that guy, right? You're sitting there like, oh
Bro,
damn, like
this is
you
the reason why there's no need to talk trash.
no, I disagree, man.
Not prematurely. Not
You gotta
prematurely.
you gotta
No, no,
believe
no.
it. Who's gonna believe it if not you?
Listen, I agree with that. But when you're coming into the league as a rookie, you're setting yourself up. Look, he already came into the league with getting jokes cracked on him because he paints his nails, right? Now you're gonna talk trash and then get jokes cracked on you about that. You're just putting more pressure on yourself, especially as a number one overall pick. Just be quiet. Right now, just be quiet.
Mhm. I believe in the talent, man. I believe in it. We'll see. I might look stupid next
We'll
week.
see.
Fuck it.
We'll see.
The over and under is really high on this one this week, man. We got 43 and a half. I'm
Ah,
gonna go under. I don't like this number at all. I'm gonna go under.
yeah. No, I'm going under as well.
Wow, look at that. Agreeing for once
Yeah.
on this Pick'em show. God damn it. Next up, we got the Chargers, the surging Chargers against
hmm
the Steelers, which this is a beat them, grab them by the neck, take them out back, and mug them kind of game, right? For
Yeah,
both of
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Um, I love. I'm just gonna throw this out there because this is gonna lead the discussion. I don't give a shit. The lowest
Yeah.
under the entire week at 35 and a half. Derrick, set us up. How you feeling about
Really?
this Chargers Steelers game?
For one, I'm going to put it over. I think they go over on this one.
Wow, really?
I think they go over on this one. Um, but I think that's mainly because I can see the Chargers lighting it up. And the Steelers do just enough to push it over. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the Steelers are fully doing with their run game. So give me the Chargers on this one. I believe Herbert is playing. Um,
Mhm.
I forgot what his injury was, but I believe he is playing this week. So give me the Chargers with this one. Harbaugh has had these guys looking really good so far
Yeah.
this year. So I think I'm ready to buy in a little bit, just a little bit, just a little
Oof.
bit.
It's a tough one, man. This is a real tough one. This is another one that's kind of shaky. I like that you're
Yeah.
going with the way you're going to. I was thinking of just saying fuck it, give me the points, but yeah, these motherfuckers shouldn't be at the top of the AFC North. Why? Why? Why are they all the way up there?
Yeah.
I agree. You would think, right, as a team, that no matter who the fuck is going to be out there at quarterback, you would run some RPO options here. What the fuck is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get some motions pre-snap, something. Let's
Bro.
liven this bitch up, because yeah, it's looking weird. And I'm a Justin Fields guy, but it's looking weird. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean with the Chargers too, just because I think they could really make this shit ugly on both sides of the ball. Like I think
Yeah.
Chargers defense looks better than I expected, and their offense has really been the story of the day. Shout out J.K. Dobbins, not
Yeah.
anything other than what I expected, but damn, that line is looking phenomenal. Shout out Joe Alt,
They are.
another just one of those picks you make, right? Just go out there for 8 years and just fuck dudes up, right? Please. I encourage a lot of fans to watch the offensive lines of these teams more often. I think
Yeah.
you'll learn a lot more about what it really takes to have an effective offense when you see
Yeah.
guys like Joe Alt just fucking people up, taking out
Yeah.
multiple guys in the same play. No pause, but we will move on with this one by saying I kind of think the Steelers make it livelier than most people do, but I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. I think they're a well-oiled machine and they're looking good. I'm also going to go with the over, but I don't feel confident. Like I think both of these teams are poised to score less than 19 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough one, but hey, at that rate, they'll make it over. So we'll leave it at that. Next up, we have moved on to our 4 p.m. window. We've got the Skylar Thompson led Dolphins on the road against the Seattle Seahawks in the 12th man. This is gonna be an ass whooping, right? This is a
Yeah.
down. This is another one of those games, right? Marshawn Lynch gonna be on the sidelines talking to McDaniel, just hyping him up, right? Let's fucking
Yeah.
go, Mike, because it's that time, baby. Um,
Yeah.
McDonald's, excuse me. I don't know why the fuck I said McDaniel. Um, I I love everything about the Seahawks. I love Geno. Everyone loves breaking it down, acting like Geno is the problem. This man is out here doing shit your quarterback wish he could. God damn it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
every year, everyone's just trying to, oh, you still starting Geno in your fantasy. Guess what? I'm 2-0. I didn't even plan on contending this year, and I'm 2-0 right now in my dynasty league that I have Geno starting. So shout out. Yeah, I believe a lot in the Seahawks, not only in this matchup, but obviously without your starting quarterback. I think ultimately this offense is built to run very much so like, hey, you put the ball in this place. So I actually don't think the Tua effect is going to be as big of a story as people expect here. I just think
Hmm.
matchup wise, it's really tough for the best receivers, you could argue, best receiver duo to get open against the best cornerback duo, you could argue, in the league with Witherspoon and Tyreek Woolen. So
Yeah.
love me what the Seahawks are doing, looking like Ravens juniors out there. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah. Give me the Seahawks as well, man. I think this team is very interesting. Um, and yeah, you can't uh say anything bad about their secondary. Like the secondary is just beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, give me the Seahawks as well. I can't see Miami going up there and doing it.
The over under for this one, 41.5. This one was tough for me.
Mm.
I'm going to go under, right? Just because I think Seahawks are going to muff everything the Dolphins try to put up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go under, but Tyreek better ball out, bro. I like
Yeah, do it for the kids, right?
fan, bro. Like fantasy, man. Look, forget those kids, bro. My fantasy team, bro, I am struggling.
Hmm.
I'm struggling. This is week 3 and I'm already considering tanking. I'm
Wow.
already considering. So, yeah, I need him to do something because
Are you
my
talking about the
God, bro.
dynasty league right now? Is that what you're
No,
talking
no,
about?
no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no, no, no,
You
no.
have me so
Nah,
confused right now.
nah. That one I'm 1-1. But I have another league where I'm the champion in, and I think I'm 0-1. I mean 0-2 in that.
Is there a benefit to tanking?
I can get some draft picks for next year.
Oh, okay.
I
So it is
have
one of those
Tyreek.
keeper kind of leagues.
Yeah, I have Tyreek Hill and I have some other guys in that roster that I look like when I drafted that. Oh yeah, I'm winning the championship again this year. I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, it's
Mm.
an early season, so I'm not gonna, you know, hang it up right now. But yeah, if it continues on this trajectory, I'm punting the season away.
Hey, get your shit together, Tyreek.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand it was traumatizing. You got arrested and shit before the game. All right, but we
yeah,
2 weeks removed now. All right,
yeah.
we need some love. We'll make it happen.
Most
Next
definitely.
up, we got the Panthers on the road against the Raiders. It don't get worse than this, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah,
I'm gonna go with the Raiders after they obviously just came off a huge upset against my Ravens, and it's not just because of that, but it's just because I will never pick the Panthers against an NFL team. So, how you feeling,
nah.
Derek?
Same here. Raiders.
Yeah, just had to lob it just in case, right? You never know.
Yeah,
The over
yeah.
under on this one is set at 38 and a half. Ugh,
Uh,
give me the
it
under.
might be. I would say it might be a little under, but that's just because it's the Raiders going up 35, 36,
To
and the
six.
Panthers don't score anything. That might just be how it is this game, man.
Sheesh. Well, we'll move on. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a game that looked amazing last week. The
Mm,
49ers on the road to face the LA Rams. Tough to see. I know there's one guy, right, that doesn't give a fuck who he's out there throwing to, and that's Matt Stafford, because we're out there to fucking win, ladies and gentlemen. So, who you got,
yeah.
Derek? Niners, remember, coming off that upset loss to the Vikings as well.
Yes, they are, but they don't have Debo. They don't have McCaffrey. If I'm not mistaken, I think Kittle might not be playing. I know he was. They said something about like a hamstring or something like that. So I'm just gonna assume he's not playing this game. Give me the Rams.
Wow, that's a hot take right there. Without Cooper Cup, without Puka Nakua, we going
You
with the
got Matt Stafford
Rams.
out there.
Yeah, true. Hey, they still got the Glock. You know what I'm saying? The Glock is still out, ladies and
Bro,
gentlemen. I
like
know. I'm going with the Niners, right? Fuck it. If we're gonna split a game, let's make it this one. I like their
yes, sir.
defense a lot more than the Rams' defense.
Yeah,
But yeah, who knows? This is another sneaky mid off this
it
week,
is.
where it's looking
It is.
rough. 49ers and the Rams. The over under for this one, 44 and a half.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go under, right? That seems way too high.
Definitely under, man.
Holy shit. Yeah, why is that so high? Next up, we got a really fun game after
Mm,
how things have been looking the first couple of weeks. We got the Lions
yeah,
on the road against the Cardinals. Cardinals coming off that absolute ass whooping of the Rams last week. Marvin Harrison Jr. The
yeah,
full experiment is out, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
You love to see him bounce back after having quite literally one catch in his rookie debut, but looking good. Got 2 touchdowns and almost what was it, 4 or 5 receptions? Just out there banking them and then getting out of
Yeah,
there early. You love to see that
yeah.
as well as a fantasy owner. But this game is going to be fun as hell to watch. Lions coming off of a huge upset loss, obviously not a big lopsided loss, but tough
Mhm.
one to swallow against the Bucks, where they honestly just felt like Jared Goff was just having a hard time executing. Right, and I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how that storyline continues to play out. If there's something I like in this game, it's a Montgomery touchdown, ladies and gentlemen, because anytime touchdown for David Montgomery has been cashing, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yes.
besides that, this is honestly a tough one to pick. I could see either team's offense going off and being stronger. which makes it hard, especially with how the Cardinals looked last week. But I'm going to go with the Lions. I think their defense should be able to disrupt what Kyler Murray and them guys are trying to do. So give me the Lions
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on that one. I think I'm going to go with the Lions on this one as well. Um, they need to bounce back, to be honest. But Aiden Hutchinson, how you feeling about him so far this year?
Obviously, looking like a damn monster out there. Might be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
I love watching that man play. Like, no matter what's
yeah,
going on, we'll stop the TV, right? The man looks
yeah,
like Waluigi in Mario Party with how high his legs get on this rush, right? Like, and
yeah,
just obviously way more muscle on him than
yeah,
Waluigi, but it's comical, man. Like this guy, very much like Pacheco, right? Got them angry runs
yeah,
and.
yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah,
you,
yeah,
there's full commitment from my guy Aiden Hutchinson. So, and then the
yeah,
hometown guy, right, to be able to do that not only in college but in the pros. Like it's just perfect, right? Perfect
yeah,
scenario for him.
yeah.
But interesting game nonetheless. 51.5 is the line, which is the
Whew,
biggest of the entire week.
yeah.
I'm gonna go under. There's no fucking way, right? Not this year.
I'm I'm gonna go ahead and say over.
Wow.
Let's just go and let's just see. Let's just see. Why not?
Yeah, that's a
Why
fucking big
not?
number, man. We're gonna need 30-30.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you could actually get that.
mhm. I love
I
that
think you
this
could.
game and the
Okay.
next one have such high total points because either one of these could give us that total. Goddamn it, we got the Ravens, my Ravens, on the road, looking to face 0-3 in the fucking eyes against the goddamn Dallas Cowboys. Dakota Rain led Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's paid now, right? There's nothing else to talk about, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen,
yeah.
except for why the fuck the defense looking like that? Can we talk about that, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously, Saints came marching in and did what they needed to do. But a loss no one expected, especially that it just flows, right?
That
But a
was that
loss,
was beautiful.
a loss that no one expected, especially with that many points.
Yeah.
And obviously, my Ravens have been a little challenged when it comes to putting up a lot of points on the board, especially with our front four. I'm you already know where I'm going with this. I think there's no way my team goes 0-3. We'll start there. Why the fuck do the Raiders beat us every year? We could talk about that too. Like once again, playing down to competition,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
happened
yeah.
again. It wasn't it week 2 last year as well. Like
I
I
think so.
insane
Early
shit.
part. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, fuck that. But yeah, shout out Gardner Minshew. But yeah, I don't. We can't do this, right? On the road, AT&T, we're gonna make a scene out there. I think the key to this game, though, especially offensively, let's play this game in a way where we are not playing like we're down all game. Like,
Mhm.
let them score the first drive. I don't care. Let's go out here and
Yeah.
play our offense. Let's play our game and everything else will figure itself out. I think I love the way Lamar Jackson has been looking through his progressions and his reads. I think as a quarterback, he's been growing so much and has been a treat to watch. Um, Rashad Bateman is open all the time, man. I know I say that all the
Yeah.
time, but fuck,
Yeah.
man, this guy is
Yeah.
good. We need to get him some more design plays. I think this is a real shootout game. Despite both of our defenses getting a lot of love coming into the year, I think both units my unit has looked way better. But I
Mhm.
think both units have left a little to desire, right? Despite the reputation. I think this one comes down to offense, and I just like our running game way more, right? To be able to wear on this team as this game goes down. But
Mhm.
if we get into any sort of a pissing match with this team, right, where we're out here just throwing the ball every fucking down and trying as hard as we can to outscore the Cowboys, we're gonna lose. So let's not do that, right? Let's gas these guys, slow it down a little bit, and make Dakota Rain go out there and make plays. And I think we're in a good spot. So give me the Ravens on the road. But this is a scary one. This is a trap game for sure. How you feeling?
I actually don't think you need to be afraid, bro. There's no way you lose this game, honestly. Um I think where the Cowboys sit, they should be feeling how some Ravens fans feel about possibly going 0-3. I feel like that's how they should be because they're the Cowboys are a pretender. Like they're not a contender. They're not a contender. So like I didn't expect that type of loss last week. But if you watch Dallas, like it's like
You picked it.
it makes sense. It makes sense, bro. Like there's I'm not I wouldn't be shocked if you guys ran it up on them too. And one story that I think a lot of people have not talked about, may have, but I don't watch sports television throughout the week anymore. Um, Derrick Henry gets to show the Cowboys something. You passed up on me. I wanted to be here. You passed up on me. Now I got to show you what you missed. So that's the storyline of the game that I'm intrigued by. Give me the Ravens, and I think they're gonna run the gauntlet.
Let's fucking go. Thank you. I needed that. Clearly, I needed that.
The
I like to be
AFC
humble on the show, though.
champions. The
Yes, sir.
AFC champions. Let's go. That's what's happening this year. So let's go.
48 and a half is the over under. I'm gonna go over. I like us to score a lot in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over as well, but that's because you guys are gonna get the majority of the points.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. I don't gotta be my own hype man on this show. God damn it. Next up, we've got Sunday night football. We've been waiting all fucking week for Sunday nights. We've got
Yeah.
the defending champs, the Chiefs, on the road against the Eagles, coming off of the Bird Bowl, feeling good. I mean, the Eagles, fuck, sorry. The Falcons coming off the Bird Bowl, feeling good after their win against the Eagles. Um, this team still sucks, though. That's a big problem, right? That's a big fucking problem. Um, Nobody
Yeah.
saw the signing of Kirko Chains, right? It was like, hey, you know what? Darnell Mooney's about to go off this year, but somehow that has been our reality. Holy shit, Mooney's out there cooking. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's spread this ball around a little bit more, Kirko. I know the Achilles is hurting. I know, I get it. This ain't gonna be an easy game either. But let's
Mm-mm.
move the rock a little, right? Kyle Pitts has been waiting for 4 years, right? Please, let's get him fed a little. But all jokes aside, this should be a relatively pedestrian game. I like to think it would be offensive and fun, but you got to side with the Chiefs to win this one, even if they're on the road.
Yeah. No, they're winning this one. The pressure that the Eagles should have provided Kirk last week is what he'll receive this week. Chris Jones ain't letting him out his sight.
Hey, and y'all did pressure him too, right? Let's not act like it wasn't every down, but
Nah, bro, like nah, we got to him a couple times, but we didn't pressure.
mhm,
Like he got to sit in the pocket a lot, bro.
mhm.
And it's not like that defensive line is not a thing to fear. That they are that's a defensive line that you want, right? It's just that they didn't have the pressure for some reason. So I think we'll see that with this game. I think that the Chiefs will bring it. Um, and yeah, they are on the road.
Mhm.
Don't matter.
I
Don't
love it.
matter.
I love it. 48 and a half. We got another high over under. I'm gonna go with the under on this one though. I think I don't trust the Falcons to score more than 20 points, and I don't think you
Nah,
should either.
nah. It's gonna be under for sure.
Yeah, really high one on that one. I guess it's the Chiefs. Next up,
Yeah.
we've got two teams in very opposite directions, right? They thought they were going to be at the same position, but they're going in very opposite ways. We got the Jaguars on the road against the Bills. I don't even necessarily know how to prescribe to fix the Jaguars, right? Because you watch them week one and you're like, hey, you know what? You just had it, right? It was there. It was easy, and then you let it slip away somehow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can forgive that. We could work towards something better, and then just absolutely ran amok week two. So I don't know where to gauge this team. going up against a Bills team that obviously looked really dominant against the Dolphins, all things considered, after that injury, took it and ran with it and won outright.
Hmm.
I like the Bills a lot. I don't know how to feel about this fucking matchup, so I'm gonna let you take it,
Yeah.
Derek. How you feel about our first in the Monday night slate?
I don't know how to feel about it either. I don't know why they chose this game, like of all games. I don't know why they chose this game. But I'm going with the Bills on this one. Um I've kind of been thinking about this the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if I should be feeling this way or not. But do you think Doug Peterson is going to be on the hot seat pretty soon, if not already?
Dougie Doug, that's a good question. I think he should be, but I don't think it's deserved. I feel like
I
they
don't think
should
so
be able to
either.
bounce back. It really depends on how these next couple weeks go, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that one. The Bills winning this game though.
Right?
Yeah,
It
they're at
feels.
home, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're at home. Fuck it. Give me the Jaguars, man. Give me the
Hey,
Jaguars. I'll take it. I'll take
hey.
the points here. I don't know why. I shouldn't, but I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
45 and a half is the line. I'm going to go I'm going to go under on that one too. I'm going to go under.
Yeah.
I think both of these
Definitely
offenses
under.
looked a little lackluster to who we know them to be.
Yes. Yes. But it will be definitely. It will be under.
Under for you as well. Our final game on the slate, we've got the Washington football team known as the Commanders going on the road to face the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football after a crushing loss to the Chiefs. This game is actually sneaky fun because I think offensively the Commanders could put it on them in the ground game and sort of make things
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson is a fucking monster, though. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna find a way to put his imprint on this game,
Yeah.
and put the Bengals in a good position to win here to get their first win. So give me the Bengals on the at home. Sorry.
Yes. I'm going with the Bengals as well. Um, I think they should be getting T. Higgins back. If not this week, then next week. But I think he is coming back this week. So for whatever that does for them, in this game specifically, um, give me the Bengals. But I could not help but feel after last week, all the stuff that was going on with Jamar Chase, right? I could not help but feel like he is definitely out of there after this season.
Why is that? Please,
I
please
just
elaborate.
it's bro, I don't like ever since the Super Bowl run, I don't feel like they've done enough to help that offensive line. And I just there's something about this team I can't see
Chemistry
it.
feels off, right? And you would
It's
think
something, yeah, it
these
feels
college
off.
teammates, right, would be in
Yes.
such a good place.
Yes. It does not feel like they're on the same page. So I can't see him. I can't see him being there next year. But for
Especially
some
with
reason,
all this bad blood. Like
yeah,
it
yeah,
should. I feel like they should have gotten a deal done by now already. I think
yeah,
at the end of the day, you love to see everyone get paid, right? But at a certain point, how much is fucking too much, right? For any
yeah,
player, on
yeah,
a team based sport like the NFL,
yeah.
you gotta make that decision at some point. And I agree, man. You can't pay for a line if you're paying your receivers the majority of your salary cap.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with it. I don't know what their cap looks like, but if you're willing to allocate the funds to the offensive line to help your QB, to help your run game, to help the passing game, like it would make sense. You know, um, I don't know. Something about last week just didn't feel like this was going to go past this year.
Yeah, just a lot of fucking bitching and moaning, right? I'm tired of it
A
too.
lot,
God damn it. Let's
a
let's
lot.
let's go out there and play ball, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Because I know I complain calls with the best of them, but god damn it, at a certain point you got to go out there and play. So make it work.
Yes.
The over under for this final game 47 and a half. I'm going under just because I don't expect the Commanders to do too much in this one.
Nah, nah. It's definitely. I can't see them going over. I'll go under as well.
Holy shit, Derek. Week 3 is on
Yes,
the
sir.
horizon now, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun to do these breakdowns and look forward, look behind, look sideways. We look in every
Yes, sir.
direction of this
Yep.
NFL season, and I can't wait to see where our standings at next week. God damn it! Because as
Oh, this
always,
is gonna be crazy.
we got some key games right where we're going head to head here. So
Yeah.
can't wait to see what it's looking like. Why don't you remind the people where they could see you on the way out?
Yes, sir. You can follow me at Derrick underscore OTS. That's DERRICK, the black way to spell it.
Yes, sir. Make sure you're following the brand at OTS Media Co. on all social media platforms. You could catch me at Negron MMA, Twitter, TikTok, all that good shit. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you guys make my day, and it's been really cool to see all the love, right, that we've been getting in
Yes, sir.
OTS, period. So make sure you're tuned in because we got a lot more shows coming your way and a lot of cool stuff coming this season and beyond. But, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen,
sir.
just remember, right? You can't be a saint if you're out there repping the dirty South. And I just gotta say, God damn it, the Saints are looking goddamn good. But holy shit, I still think there's a lot of other good teams in this South. And you know which one I'm rooting for, baby. Let's
I
go,
know.
Bucks. We'll
Yeah, I
catch you
know.
guys next week. The Baker Stand. Peace.